Always worth keeping your eyes open when you're on a freshly ploughed field, because you've got there pieces of pottery that get brought to the surface by the rain. However, look what's caught my eye. Looks like a glass stopper or a marble. I think it's a marble. Look at that. So that is a children's glass marble. So that was probably someone's pride and joy, one of their favourite little toys. Most likely in the Victorian era, should I say, through into the 1900s. Nice. I've finally made my way down to where Fletch got his Brazilian silver coin. I've got a signal right here. And now I'm actually not thinking it's very good, but let's dig it up anyway. Well, I can see something green. I think it might though be the internal of a shotgun cartridge. Is it? Or is it just a copper stud? Oh, soil's all claggy. Right, I need to give this a wee clean up off camera and come back to you. And it is indeed. It's part of a firing cap for a shotgun. You can see the striking pin there right in the centre, and on this side some of the felt wadding for the shotgun cartridge still intact. So not particularly old, probably 1950s to 1980s, something like that. Oh well. So a little catch up with Pete. He's got himself a very old coin. Look how thin it is. It's almost like a hammered coin, except it's not silver. Looks like it's copper. And I suspect that that's probably going to be a William and Mary, which would put it sometime around sort of 1688 through to about 1695, I think Mary died. So they led the coup against in fact it was actually Mary's father, and William was his son-in-law. In 1688, what they call the Glorious Revolution, when James VII of Scotland, who was known as James II of England, was basically kicked off the throne because he was Roman Catholic, and people, particularly in England, didn't want that. So they brought in William of Orange from the continent, from Holland, or the Netherlands, should I say. So I think that's probably a coin of him, but look how paper thin it is. And then Pete has also got himself a nice little lead token, a lead seal. So this is another one of these Russian seals, and this one's got a date of 1833, so another flax seal. Well done, Pete. Well, Pete again, he's got himself another hammered coin. You can see how thin that is, and it looks like it's made of copper. I suspect it's going to be Scottish, probably a Turner, a 2 pence. So it'll probably date to Charles I, Charles II. You have to give that a straighten out when he gets home, but it looks like the detail's largely gone, but you might get lucky on the inside. And that could be Charles I, Charles II, 1625 through to 1685. Nice find. Pete's got a pair of lead seals, these type that almost look like hammered coins. They've got a cross with the pellets in the middle, but when you turn them over, they're very much not medieval. One's got an HW, the other's got an RB, or maybe it's an MH. And these are again both different types of bag seals, or flax seals probably. Not sure where they're from, if they're Russian or not, but nice finds, probably date to sometime in the 17 through into the early 1800s. And Pete's back on the finds again. What is this? Some sort of clasp or fitting or something? Not sure on that one. Looks quite crudely made, so it might have a bit of age to it, but I know what that is. Now that is a spindle whorl, WHORL, spindle whorl. So these were used for spinning sort of rough shaved wool from sheep into strips or strands of wool that you could then make clothes from. So these have been in use since the pre-Roman times. Not decorated, it's a plain one. I would guess that that's probably going to be medieval, so wouldn't be surprised if that's sometime in the 13th, 14th, 15th century, give or take, but it could be as far back as Roman. Nice find. Okay, so we've changed fields once again, and we've got a bit of a combination. We've got this lovely flat packed bit round the edge, and then we've got freshly ploughed out in that direction. I've not really done these fields that much because I've more concentrated on the other ones which have produced Roman and hammered medieval and all sorts, so let's have a look and see what we find. First signal for me, and being near the edge of the field and sounding too good to be true, I thought it was going to be probably a tin can, but it's actually a piece of bronze. It's almost like a sort of waste piece, maybe from metalworking. Who knows, there could be a bit of age to that, it could be thousands of years old, but we'll never know. Not sure about this one. It's almost like the top off a chess piece, a pawn, but it is solid. And by the colour it looks like it's probably some sort of copper alloy, maybe even brass, but it's heavy. I'm guessing it's probably a piece of a furniture fitting, not particularly old, 1900s I would guess. You know, Martin's found an unusual thing. Don't know what that is. Looks like it's almost got like a coat of arms on it. Some sort of, it looks like silver, but I don't know if it is or not. What's the other side like, Marty? Don't know. No idea what that is. Some sort of little seal or such like. If you know, let us know. I got a very deep signal right here, and it sounded too good to be true. I've not long had the tin can, and looks like I've got a coin or a button, and it's in there, encrusted. Break her open and see. So far so good. Oh no, maybe it's a dome shape actually. It is, it's domed, it's a button. It's concave on the back and it's domed on the front. Damn. Well, it might be a military button, so let's give it a clean up and see. Well, it's definitely a button. You can see some lettering on the back. Looks like it says made in, but then I can't see the critical word that I'm looking for. The other side is plain looking, a little bit irony, a little bit crusty. I don't think this is particularly old, 18, probably into the early 1900s. Hey ho. I've finally got a half decent signal. In a slightly different bit of the field, which has previously been broccoli or Brussels sprouts. See if we can finally get something half decent. Out the hole on spade fill number 2, somewhere around here. Ah, doesn't look good. It looks tractory. Definitely looks tractory. Yep, definitely something. No age to that, not particularly old. One for the junk pile. So far this field has been junk, tractor bits and all sorts, and signals are coming through pretty good, but then turning out to be junk. So I've stopped taking my phone out because every time I thought I had something good, it was rubbish. And I think I might finally have a coin. And it looks like it could be a bobby, maybe. Or maybe it's a farthing. Let's give it a wee rub up, see if we can get some detail. Well, it's plain on the back, and on this side you can just make out half, 1/2, and it's a penny, an old penny. And above that, in perfect lettering, you can just make out the A is the name of the farm that I'm metal detecting on. So this is one of these tokens that they would have given to employees as part of their payment, and they could then exchange these tokens for things like bread and milk and so on in the local shop, which the farm owned. So they basically they were paying you with one hand and taking it off you with the other. So it was a very popular system in this area around the time of the sort of pre-war, post-war era, when a lot of the farms around here grew berries and you were paid. You know, people would travel out for 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks at a time and stay here through particularly the school holidays to pick fruit. So I can't show you it because then you would know the name of the farm. So you're going to have to take my word for it. It's a nice find. It's a nice piece of social history. Well, technically it's junk. It's a squashed container, but it's a little bit different because it's got some writing on it. It says Gills Dentifrice. So I'm assuming this is probably some sort of old toothpaste powder or dental or denture glue or something like that. And date wise I'm probably guessing pre-war, sometime between 1900 1940s. I'll have a look online, see if I can find anything about Gills Dentifrice. Well, I think this will be my last signal of the day. Just about to give up. I think we've got a coin. Oh, there it is, I've dropped it. We do. We've got a coin. It's not particularly old because it's got that brown colour. Let's try and get in the light a little bit. George the VI, I think. I think it is. That is a shilling, I think. Right, let's get out the wind and give it a little bit of a clean up. Well, at least I've finished on a coin. Georgius the VI, DG de Gratia, by the grace of God, Brit Omne Rex, King of the Britons. And on the back, Fid Def, Defender of the Faith, and Ind Imp, Emperor of India. And this dates to, can't actually see a date. Hold on, there it's there, 1947. Well, that's the year that India gained its independence. So this must have been the last coin that had the words Ind Imp on it. Because India gained its independence in 1947, I'm sure. And it's 1 shilling. Don't ask me what a shilling is. This would originally have been silver in colour, but they started to make them from copper and zinc, I think it was, and they debased the coinage, so it went from being almost pure silver to 50% silver to garbage. And I think that's largely because Britain was broke as a result of the war. But it's a shilling, 1947. Someone will no doubt mention in the comments, I can't remember, a shilling, is that a 10 pence? Someone can let me know. It's probably 12 pence or something daft like that. You know what the old system of coinage used to be like in the UK. Anyway, that is us. The other boys have just finished up. So that's us for another day with the Scottish Detectorists. Take care, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, then give us a sub. See you on the next dig.